Welcome to the Cash Flow Couple Podcast. I am your hostess with the mostest, Wendy Williams. How you doing? In the basement with my husband, John Williams.
And it feels good in the basement in the summer.
Oh man, it's so nice and cool
the
down
temperature
here.
down here is so much easier to maintain.
Oh, it's wonderful.
So it feels great.
It is hot.
Oh, it's hot outside. It's definitely summer.
H-O-T hot. Man, it is. It's summertime. The last day of school was Friday. So now they're here all day long.
And by they, you mean?
The children.
The children.
Dun,
Yes.
dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. I need some good music. I need one of those soundboards where I can do stuff like that. That'd be cool.
So, I know I've been at the swimming pool almost every single day. We go to the pool every day.
That's why you're so tan.
I am tan.
But you go because of Emma.
Yes. Well, I have to because that's the only way that I really get any peace. I've been reading a very good book, actually.
Oh, so you've been reading at the pool.
Yes, I've been reading at the pool. I just got done with a book called Why We Want You to Be Rich.
Oh, that's one of my Goodwill finds.
That's right.
So if you go to Goodwill, at least here in our area, they have a book section, and their paperbacks are 99 cents. You can buy a paperback book for 99 cents, and you can buy a hardback book for, I think, $1.39 or something. So if you're looking for books, I always go there. Wendy goes to the clothes section because the children are growing, and why buy them new stuff when they're going to grow out of it next week, I guess.
Exactly.
But I go to the book section, and this is one of the ones I picked up.
Yeah, this was a great find. It was really good. I just finished it. It's called Why We Want You to Be Rich, and it was written by Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki, which is super cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was reading the beginning of that book, and they talked about how they met and how they decided to do a book together. But it's really kind of two books in one.
Yeah, because, Robert Kiyosaki will give his opinion on a certain topic, and then Donald Trump will give his opinion on the same topic. So,
yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I like the way it's laid out.
Yeah.
I had never heard of it.
I hadn't either.
But I knew the names.
And
so I picked it up. I said, hey, this has got to be good, right?
Yeah, and it really is. It's really a good book. I highly recommend reading it. I really do. But that's what I've been reading at the swimming pool. So
Okay, so tell me what you've learned.
Well, I have a really good quote from the book, and it says, if your reality begins with your dreams will become your reality.
If your reality begins with your dreams,
your
dreams will become your reality.
Yep. Isn't that great?
Yeah. And so that very much relates to the topic we're going to talk about today, right?
So the topic we have for today is working backwards to get to your goal. So we're going to be talking about what makes a goal good, what your goals are, and how working backwards gives you actionable steps to take to get to your goal. So
yeah, I think that's a great topic because we all start with dreams and, like you were saying in the quote, and what you want for yourself and your children and your personal goals and those type of things. But I think a lot of times what we fail to do is set goals, like real goals that are actionable and that are, something you can actually go after. Do you want that thing for real, or are you just kind of sitting around and dreaming about it?
Well, there's another good quote in the book. Speaking of which,
hit me up.
It says, any goal without a process is just a dream.
Huh?
Any goal without a process is just a dream. So I think it was interesting because what you just said, because I think a lot of people think that, yeah, I really want this, but I really kind of want like an easy button or like a secret sauce, a secret formula.
Or I don't know how to get there.
Like my goal is too lofty I really don't think that I can achieve this goal.
Well, I think part of the problem is I think a lot of us call things goals that aren't.
Oh.
So I actually looked this up. I looked this up on Wikipedia because this is something that I was taught, and I think it's important to define what's a goal. So let's define the word first, so we're all on the same page.
Okay.
And let's define what's not a goal. So it's easier to say what's not a goal. So I want to lose weight is not a goal.
Nope, that would be a dream.
And it's not a goal because it doesn't meet certain criteria. So let me give you criteria. So
okay, so this is what makes a goal good.
Well, it's what makes a goal and not something else. But what I looked up, I like this. It's called SMART criteria, which is just an acronym, SMART. And it originated from a guy that wrote in an issue of something called Management Review. This is all off of Wikipedia. I've never heard of Management Review.
Sounds like a snooze fest.
Yeah, it does. Sounds like a really interesting publication, does it not? Wonder why I've never heard of it. But that's what Wikipedia says, so I wanted to give the guy credit. But what he said SMART stood for was specific.
Specific, okay.
So a goal is specific. It's measurable.
Measurable.
He uses the A as assignable.
Assignable?
Yeah, like you specify who's going to do it.
Ooh, that's good.
So they were looking at it from a management perspective.
So
gotcha. if you think about it that way, it's
okay.
specific.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Target a specific area for improvement.
Okay.
It's measurable. You can quantify it.
Okay.
It's assignable, so you got to specify who's going to do it. The R in his is realistic.
Realistic. Okay.
Yes. So, what Definitely. Results can realistically be achieved given the available resources.
Okay, yeah.
And the T is time related.
Time related. That's very important.
So you have to specify when.
Right, yeah.
When.
I think that is definitely important.
Yeah, so more modern definitions of that are there's smarter.
Smarter?
Yes.
Okay.
So this was kind of taken and used by other folks as well. So you'll hear this as well, smarter. So the actual the extra ER is that it can be evaluated and reviewed.
Ooh, I like that one because I think goals have to be reviewed.
Yeah, and the R was recognized mastery. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but then there's smarta.
Smarta.
Sparta! This is smarta.
This is smarta.
This is smarta. But the extra TA is trackable.
Dude, trackable.
And agreed.
Agreed?
Yeah, the extra A is agreed.
Oh.
I kind of like that one because, especially like...
Between us? Yeah, because we both have to agree on a goal.
Yes, but I think if you have a business partner or if you have a spouse and you don't agree on what your goals are...
Oh, yeah, that would be
bad. A lot harder to achieve them because...
For sure.
You're kind of working on different paths, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So I kind of like that extra A, that agreeable.
Agreeable.
Some people take the R instead of making it realistic. They call it relevance.
Ooh, relevance.
So does what you're working towards have relevance? Is it? I take that to mean, does it align with what you're trying to really achieve?
The big goal, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Does it have relevance to the bigger picture? Your vision.
Right.
And then some people add a VT, which just means verifiable and traceable. That's kind of like, evaluated and reviewed. But I thought that was a good definition, but it gives you an idea of what's a goal and what's not.
Well, I had a goal. Tell me if it's a goal or not. So I wanted to it's summertime, right? So I would like to be able to send the kids to a summer camp of their choice this summer.
This summer?
Yes.
So you have a time frame.
I have a time frame, so that's good. I know how much it's going to cost because summer camps are freaking expensive. It's like $300 a week per child.
Per kid. So you're going to send them a week?
Uh-huh.
So you got $600.
So I got $600.
So you're specific.
Yes.
You know what you want. It's measurable. You need $600.
Yes.
The original was assignable, but it's probably achievable as well.
I think
you can achieve $600.
I think so, yeah.
Is it realistic? Is it relevant? Because that could be, the R could be realistic or relevant. I think it's realistic.
I think it's realistic.
And it's relevant.
To be able to raise $600 in the next month.
And it's time related because you just said in the next month.
Right.
So you have a month.
So I have a month to get $600.
So I would say that you have a good goal.
Oh, okay. So that would be a good goal then. Okay.
I would say if your goal was, I want to be able to send my kids to summer camp one day, that would be an example of something that's similar but not a goal.
Right.
Because there's no time on it.
Just like when people say, I want to be financially free.
Right.
That's not a good goal either.
It's not. And anything like that isn't really. I want to lose weight.
Oh, yeah. That's
well,
a good one.
Goal is I want to lose 30 pounds in a year. A bad goal might be I want to lose 30 pounds in the next 2 weeks because it's not realistic. It's not achievable.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. So I think a good goal needs to have all of those components. And something else that I saw in here that I thought was interesting is they said goals should be written in pencil because things change. You may find that you may think it's realistic now, but maybe market conditions change, or maybe I don't know what. I'm trying to think of something for the weight thing. Like maybe there's
maybe it's the holidays.
Yeah, maybe it's turkey time. And that's I don't know. That's control yourself. But yeah, I mean, you should write things in pencil because goals can change over time. But I thought that was just an extra thing. But now we've defined what a good goal is. So go back to what we were talking about at the beginning.
What is your goal? So we talked about what a goal is and what makes a good goal.
Right. So when you define your goal, make sure that you're actually defining a goal.
Right.
And not just a dream.
Right.
That's where we were going.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, that is a goal of ours, is to be financially free. So now we need to talk about making it a good goal. So we want to be financially free in 1 year.
So you got 12 months.
So we got 12 months. Right. So let's just say, okay, so now we're going to work backwards.
Yeah. So let's just take hypothetical numbers.
Right.
That'll make my math easy in my head.
So let's just pretend like we need $5,000 a month so that we don't have to go work at a job anymore.
Yeah, so $5,000 a month would cover your expenses.
Would cover our expenses.
That's what financially free means.
Yes. So,
to us.
Right. So let's just pretend that that's the case. So how much... So now let's talk about how we're going to do that. So we're going to break that down. So 1 year from now, we're going to be making $5,000 a month. So let's talk about how we're going to do that. So we think that we can make an average of $200 per door.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about it in real estate terms.
Yes, so this is because that's the kind of business that we're in. So we think that if we had a rental, let's just say that it's a single family rental, and we think that it will, when we profit from it, we think that we can get $200 profit.
Per month.
Per month, right.
So if you need $5,000 per month, you need how many of those?
You need 25, because 500 divided by 200 equals 25. 5,000.
5,000.
5,000.
Okay, that's why I paused. Sorry. I was like, what kind of crazy? Because
crazy math.
The kids do this crazy Common Core math now. So I'm like, I don't know. Do you take a zero off now?
Maybe that's what it is.
Draw some lollipops and
some lines and squiggles.
Yeah, so they literally draw lines and squiggles.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
So 5,000 divided by $5,000 is what you want to make per month, divided by 200, which is what your profit per door is. That equals 25 doors.
So you know that you need 25
doors,
whether it be single family or that's like 12 duplexes or whatever.
It could be anything. It could be however many duplexes. It could be however many triplexes. It could be a 25 unit apartment building, whatever. But that's what you need in a year. So you need 25 doors. I mean, that's pretty overwhelming when you think about it that big.
It is, yeah. Like, how am I going to buy 25 houses in the next year?
Yeah, that's crazy to think about doing. So it's really overwhelming for me. So let's break it down even further. So we know that we need 25 doors this year. So how many, let's break it down even further into months. So how many is that per month? So what's 25 divided by 12 is roughly like 2.
Yeah, 2 would be 24.
Okay. So that's, I would be happy with 24.
Yeah, I think if you got to 24 and you'd be all right.
You'd be all right. Okay. So that's only 2 doors per month. That seems a bit more chewable. Like manageable.
But it tells you what you need to do.
And that's what I like about this.
Yeah, I need to make basically 2 purchases a month.
Right. So
if I'm going to get there.
2 purchases a month. That's excellent. That could just be 1 duplex, right? And if you got a triplex, that would be you're halfway to your goal for next month. This is the exciting part about it.
Yeah, so it's average.
Yes.
So if you're looking to buy 1 apartment building, you need to buy 1 this year, but your average is still going to be 2 per month.
Yes.
Right. But let's talk about it in terms of single family.
Yes.
I'm going to buy them 1 at a time.
Right.
That means I need 2 per month. That means I need, I guess there's 4 weeks in a month. I need 1 every 2 weeks.
Okay. Right. So let's break it down even further. So we've got 2 per month. So if you break it down into weeks, you need 1 every 2 weeks.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So let's break it down even further than that. So what do we do to get that 1 door every 2 weeks?
Yeah. So this is where I think it's interesting, because notice that the goal originally was I need to get financially free. And then the goal became something totally different. It became I need 25 rental properties. Because if I get 25 rental properties, that achieves my goal of financial freedom. And then it becomes, okay, well, if I break all the way down to 2 weeks, okay, now I need 1 every 2 weeks. Now I'm stuck again. How do I get 1 every 2 weeks?
Right.
Now I need a different goal.
Now you need a different goal. Yes.
Just like when I went from financial freedom to, I need rental houses.
Yep.
Now I'm going to go from, I need rental houses to, how do I get the 1 every 2 weeks?
Right. So now you've got a new goal. So how many people do I need to talk to in order to get them to sell me their house?
Right.
So that's your new goal.
So now we're going to start talking about lead generation.
Yes.
Because you're going to say, okay, how do I get 1 house every 2 weeks? Well, I'm going to have to do some marketing. And then you're going to have to figure out, okay, how many people do I need to talk to before I can get 1 person that I can make a deal with? And so that's going to go back to, okay, what kind of marketing am I going to do? Am I going to send mailers? Am I going to door knock? Am I going to make phone calls? What is it?
So correct? That's another goal.
So now you've got new goals. So let's just take one of those. Which one of those appeals most to you?
Phone calls.
Okay. So you're going to make phone calls. So now your new goal is, how many phone calls do I have to make to get 1 lead that is willing to sell?
Well, I'm just getting started, so I don't really know. If it were me and I was just getting started, I would guess.
Yeah, so that's the problem. So you start breaking this down, and at some point you come to a problem where you don't know. You don't know the answer. You don't know how many people you need to call.
Well, I'm telling newbies out there that you need to just guess. Just pick something. Pick like 15. Call 15 Okay, call 10. If that seems overwhelming, call 10 people a day.
So I'm just going to say I'm going to work 5 days a week. I know a lot of us want to hustle and work 7 days a week, but let's do 5 because
that's easy math.
5 is easier math than 7. Exactly. And I want to take the weekends off and go to the pool and read my books. So we're just going to make up something.
Yeah, we're just making up stuff. I mean, if you don't know, just guess.
And this is why you write your goals in pencil.
Yes.
Because you may need to revise them.
And you always want to keep track of them somehow. So we know one guy who keeps track of them on a whiteboard in his office.
Yeah, that's an easy way to do it.
And that's he writes down, because he calls it like a conversion rate or something like that. And he writes, how many people did I talk to? And then he tracks every time he talks to somebody, he writes a little line, draws a little line. And then when he hangs up the phone with the next person, he draws another little line. And that's how he and it's just that simple.
So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4 cross. That's
yes,
5.
Right. It's like little tacks.
What's that called when you do that?
Attack.
Attack?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know it was called that.
Yeah.
But okay. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to say, okay, I've got to generate, because your goal is going to be, how many leads do I have to generate to get a deal? Because I'm going to talk to, I don't know, I'm making something up. I'm going to talk to 10 people, or I'm going to talk to
100.
Okay, let's do it 100. I have to talk to 100 people because I suck on the phone.
To get one deal.
To get one deal.
Okay.
So now I know I need one deal in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because we've broken it down that far.
Right. So how many
So I'm not worried about that I need to make thousands of phone calls this year. I'm just saying in the next 2 weeks, I need to make how many phone calls to get a lead? Or
okay.
Let's put it this way, because we skipped a step. How many leads do I need to get one deal?
Let's just say 100.
I need 100 leads to get one deal.
I would say that, yeah.
So I've got to talk to 100 people.
Yes.
To get one deal. Okay.
I would say that's a good starting point.
So if I need...
You need to talk to 100 people in the next
2 weeks.
10 days. So because you're only working 5 days, right?
Right.
A week.
So that's what, 10 a day?
So that's 10 people a day. So you need to make 10 phone calls a day.
Well, that's not right, because not everybody's going to be home.
Oh, because you need to talk to somebody.
So now I've got a new goal.
Oh.
I need to talk to 10 people.
Oh, so you need to talk to 10
How
people.
many phone calls do I have to make to find somebody to talk to?
Gosh. I would say probably 5. Every fifth person.
So I've got to talk to 5 people to talk to one person.
Right. You got to call 5 people just to talk to one person.
So if I want to talk to 10 people in the next
50.
If I want to talk to 50 people every week, then I've got to make 10 times that. I've got to make 500 calls.
500 calls
a week.
A week. That's a lot of action.
That's 100 calls a day.
That's 100 calls a day.
Yeah, based on that and those numbers. Now, those may not be the real numbers, but it gives me something to do.
Yes.
It means that, look, I've got to go make 100 phone calls today, and tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day to get that deal. But I'm doing all that. It all rolls all the way back up to I need 25 houses this year. And that's the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to make 100 phone calls a day.
At least it gives you something to do every single day.
It does. But you have to kind of put that in pencil because you just guessed.
Right. But it's important to track those numbers, though.
That's why you have to track it. That's why you have to do that. You have to say, I made a phone call. 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 I got a lead. 4 calls to get a lead. And a lead just means I got somebody on the phone. And I talked to that person. They said no. Okay, I got a lead. I made a phone call. I made a phone call. I made a phone call. Oh, I got another lead. Did they want to sell? No. Okay, it was just a lead. I made a phone call. I made a phone call. I made 10 more. I got another lead. And so eventually you start getting some data and finally one of those people says yes, and you have a contract and you've purchased the property.
But you've just gone through a lot of action.
Yes, but you've got a data point. You said, I made this many calls to talk to this many people to get this deal. Now I've got one data point. So now I know, at least on the first one, how many people I had to call to get how many people on the phone to get that one deal. And then I do it again. I keep doing it and I get another deal. And then I go back and look and say, how many people did I call for that one? How many leads did I talk to? I got to get that deal. And then as you start doing that, you start getting averages. You start figuring out, okay, well, it wasn't 100. It was really like 50. But that's cool because I started out at 100. Now I'm going to get to my goal. Maybe I'll exceed my goal. Or you'll find out that, okay, I underestimated. I thought I only needed to call 10 people a day. Turns out I needed to be calling 50 because I'm not meeting my goals. But it gives you data points every time you make I want to say make a sale, but every time you make a purchase. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's the part that I think a lot of people stumble with because they don't. You ever seen that picture of the guy mining? There's like two guys mining. It looks like Dig Dug. Did you ever play Dig Dug?
Yes. Didn't we talk about this before?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this in the last podcast too.
With the pickaxe, and they don't quite get there, and like the big pile of diamonds is on the other side, and they just gave up. And I think that's where a lot of people give up is they say, okay, my thing is I'm going to send out letters, or my thing is I'm going to go door knock, or my thing is I'm going to go call. And they never get a data point. They never get to the point where they did enough to get a deal. Because if you do enough, you're eventually going to get a deal.
Well, I don't think a lot of people track them to begin with.
Well, that's part of it. So you'll say that, well, I never got a deal. Well, how many people did you call? I'm not sure.
Exactly.
How many leads did you get? I'm not sure. So you definitely have to track it.
Yeah.
But that will help you establish your goals. See, that's where I was going with it is if you track it, then now I know what my goals are for those things. But, my real goal isn't to call 100 people a day. Right. My real goal is to be financially free.
Right.
But I need to call 100 people today to get there.
So you got to use what you have to get what you need to get what you want.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So your goal, your actual actionable goal every day is seemingly unrelated to the real goal of
being financially
free. Because all of a sudden it became, oh, well, I need rental property, and then it became, oh, I need to buy this many a month, and then it became, oh, I need to call this many people a day. And so, but the cool thing about that is working backwards, like you said, is now I know what I need to be doing.
And it's every single day. You have a plan of what you need to do every single day for the next year.
Yes.
And if you know that if you can do that every single day, that by the end of the year, you will be financially free.
Yeah, you will get to your goal, whatever it is. But the actionable thing every day, that's just what's interesting to me about it is the actionable thing every day is I had to start at the end to get there.
Yes.
And work backwards.
Yep.
To know that, oh, I need to be calling 10 people a day or 100 people a day or whatever it is. Or maybe it's door knocking. Maybe I need to go knock 10 doors a day. Maybe that's what I figure out. But you're not going to know that at the beginning. That's the part that kills a lot of people, I think, is they kind of just guess something, or they just kind of do it randomly and they don't have a goal. So you kind of have to set a goal even if you don't know it's the right goal.
Right, yeah.
You have to say, okay, I'm going to call 10 people a day. I don't know if that's right or not, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, but you also have to keep track of it.
Yes, but the keeping track of it is so that you can adjust the goal.
Yeah.
If it's not right. Because it's those little goals that are hard to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are the ones you have to track and like figure out over time. Does that make sense?
Yep, I like it.
So I think that's the paradox a lot of times, but that's that's what I would suggest. Kind of, and like what you said, just guess, pick something.
Yeah. Track
Pick something.
Track it for a month.
Yeah.
And if you're not hitting your goals, then double it. And then track that for a month. And if you're still not hitting your goals, double that one.
Right. But it's the goal to level up.
Yes.
Am I getting enough deals? Why? Because I'm not getting enough leads. Why? Because I'm not making enough phone calls. See how that works backwards?
Yep. I love the backwards. And I really like the checklist as well. I like having something to do every single day because it makes me feel like I've accomplished something, like I am just taking that one little step. I'm taking baby steps every single day towards my goal. If I don't do something one day, it almost makes me feel like worthless, like why did I not do anything? Because I didn't know what to do. Well, if you don't know what to do, then start with a goal, a big goal, and then work backwards. And then you'll have something to do every single day for the next year.
Yeah. And you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But you have to, I think you're right. You have to start at the end.
Yeah.
And who was it you were talking about that works the maze backwards?
Yeah, that was Jay Papasan.
Okay. The one thing.
The one thing. Yeah,
Okay.
The guy who wrote The One Thing. Yep. And I was scrolling through my Facebook feed and saw an interview with him, and he was talking about this and how he does this, how he was working a maze with his son, I think he said, and he told his son to work backwards and then it would help him get to the start, but
like see where it comes out.
Yep.
And then okay.
And then he related it to his business because that's what he does with his business is starts with large goals and then breaks them down into manageable chunks and works backwards like that.
Into smaller goals.
Yep. He breaks his big goals into smaller and smaller and smaller goals, like yearly, monthly, weekly, daily.
So you know what you're doing that day.
Yep, so that you know what you're doing every single day.
I think that will help a lot.
I do too.
If you're stuck and you kind of know where you want to get to,
yep,
but you don't know what do I need to do today?
Yep. Well, that's kind of how I felt last week. But I mean, we went to go look at a house one day. Then we went to go look at an apartment one day. Then we called some property managers one day. But it's not, I need something to do. I need to know when I wake up in the morning, I want to know exactly what I need to do every single day to get to my goal.
Yeah. And I think that's where most people get stuck. They don't know, what do I do today? I wake up that day. What do I do?
Well, guess what?
This is how you get there.
Yes. And I have been in your shoes too many times to count. And this is the way to get to your goal. This working backwards will do it. So I like it.
Yeah. I think that, I hope that added some value. I think it will to a lot of folks. I know that it's been a problem for us in the past. And I think if you can do that, if you can work backwards, make smaller goals till you get to, okay, this is what I need to do today.
Chunk it.
And then kind of track it, right?
And
work forward and say, was that a good goal or not?
It is.
Because I think that's critical. At some point, you're going to work back far enough to where you don't really know what your goal is. And I think that stops a lot of people. They're like, well, I don't know how many calls I need to take. Well, go figure it out. Go try something. Guess, but you're going to figure it out over time by tracking it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then review it.
Track and review.
Yep.
And then you'll know, am I meeting these higher level goals with my smaller level goals?
Yep.
So
good stuff, man.
Yeah. I think that added a lot of value. I hope it did to you out there. I know that it helped me just thinking through it.
Mm-hmm.
And even, I know this is something I should be doing more of, So I vow to do more of that in the future and break down those bigger goals into smaller actionable steps, that to the point where I say, okay, I know today's Sunday, tomorrow, Monday, I'm doing X, so that's all I had for you. Is that, you have anything else?
Nope. That's all I got. It was great. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Well, if you would like to contact us, you can send us an email, info@thecashflowcouple.com. And we're also on Facebook at The Cashflow Couple. Send us a message on Facebook. Send us an email. We'd love to talk to you. Maybe we can help you work through your goals, help you chunk it. So that's all we've got. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen, and we hope we added some value to you. And thank you from the sunny South Charlotte. Merci. Au revoir.